Headed into this new NFL season, one of the biggest challenges facing teams was the new kickoff rule. Essentially, the way things are done now encourages kickoff returns, and it's worked as returns are up across the entire league. This was especially challenging for teams like San Francisco, who lost their primary return man in the offseason. So during this preseason, they were searching for answers, throwing a ton of bodies at the problem, like Cody Schrader and most recently, Isaac Guerendo. With Guerendo, it appears San Francisco not only has a serviceable return man, but someone that can make this a real advantage for them. And it's not like Guerendo is new at this. During his time at Wisconsin, he was actually an honorable Big Ten Conference kick returner. One of the things that I think separates good kick returners from great kick returners is their athletic ability. And while there are some truly special athletes in the league, Guerendo is in a tier of his own. In this recent draft, he was ranked as the most athletic back in this recent class. And he comes in at 6 foot, weighing 220 pounds, and ran his 40-yard dash in an almost unbelievable 4.33 seconds. While some players can do that, they're usually much lighter. He also has phenomenal contact balance in traffic, which makes him the perfect return man for San Francisco. In addition to these skills, I think he shows off pretty great vision. On this play specifically, where Guerendo had the longest kickoff return of any return man this preseason, he first is able to identify the hole forming, and then he makes this entire kickoff team look like they're running through quicksand. When you watch 27 here, for instance, he actually had himself a pretty good angle, but Guerendo is just so much more athletic. And you're not going to bring him down with just an arm tackle, or even forearm tackles, and this is the contact balance I was highlighting. He really doesn't even slow down after being hit this many times. And while San Francisco has excelled in a lot of areas under Kyle Shanahan, their special teams unit really hasn't put up big plays for them. So this development could be crucial in pushing San Francisco over the edge into a Super Bowl victory, which they've come so close to in recent years. So while it does appear Guerendo will handle San Francisco's kick return duties headed into the season, another rookie in Jacob Cowing appears set to handle their punt return duties. Like Guerendo, Cowing is fast, running his 40-yard dash in 4.38 seconds. And despite being pretty small, he's able to break numerous tackles on these punt returns. When you watch this play, for instance, he's able to break 2 tackles, and then I love how he turns up the field once he does see a little gap forming. He also has a good understanding of how to attack defenders' angles. On this play, you can see this defender coming unblocked towards him, so he fakes going one direction, and thanks to his crazy change of direction, this defensive player had no chance of tackling him. So heading into this season, I think Cowing is going to be a major addition, not just for this offense, but this special teams unit, and is going to be better than a guy like McLeod. Outside of Cowing, Ronnie Bell had a couple of nice returns, even on this one where he allowed the ball to bounce, somehow picked up, and shows why he's such a great football player. He breaks not 1, but 4 tackles on his way to the 45. And while I don't think he'll start as a punt return man, I do think this special teams ability makes it so he'll make a strong push for the 53-man roster, and probably make it. I've also routinely been impressed by the replacement punter this preseason in Presley Harvin. Harvin is filling in for Mitch Wishnowsky as he deals with knee irritation, and he's routinely pinning teams under 20. And it's crazy the variety of ways he's doing it, whether it be putting a perfectly placed backspin on the ball, or on this play, just putting a ton of hang time under it, so this return man has no choice but to fair catch it. And even the punt that was returned wasn't terrible. He's kicking from his own 15, makes it to the other team's 20, and his return team is almost there to make the tackle, but he's able to find a crease, and it's a big ask to have a 250-pound punter bring a guy like that down in open space. So while Harvin probably won't make San Francisco's 53-man roster, as Wishnowsky will replace him, I do think he deserves another shot at a job at the NFL level. Meanwhile, San Francisco's second-year rookie kicker Jake Moody actually had himself a pretty nice game against the Raiders. My favorite play by far had to be this tackle though he made. He first does an excellent job of getting outside contained, and once the kick returner tries to cut it back in, he's right there to make the tackle. And with these new kickoff rules, I do think kickers are going to become much more active in actually making these tackles, so it's encouraging to see Moody already doing this in the preseason. He also didn't miss a single kick in this game, including a field goal from 49. San Francisco's rookies also continued to make a push for the 53-man roster, and on this play, Malik Mustafa is able to shed off his block and make this tackle on the return man. And San Francisco's rookie linebacker Tatum Bethune has not only played excellent on defense, but the special teams unit. He excels at attacking the blocker and then controlling him in open space. Then on the play like this, you can see how easily it is for him to throw him off. And I don't think Bethune is a guy you can really sneak on your practice squad, so I'd like to see San Francisco keep him on their 53-man roster. But ultimately, these are just some players that stood out on San Francisco's special teams unit in this Raiders game, and I want to hear who you're most excited to see on this side of the ball headed into the regular season. It would also mean a ton to me if you could like and subscribe, and as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.